Hi guys, let's party up at Loren, the Amazon princess. That's our mother, Karen. She's lost in that dungeon with the lizard man. What does that mean? We'll find it out right now. She did not move. Loren screamed in pure bloodlust. Meanwhile, a giant lizardman warrior approached him. He was the Lizard King. And we got ourselves in another boss fight. Review our party setup, okay. I'm actually pretty happy with our party setup. Okay, so where is it? There. You're the Lizard King? You look exactly like a lizard warrior. Expect you face in the other direction and have a wall behind you. That's not very impressive, man. I have more fear for your wizard friends. I hope we can take it out before it... Maybe we can. We will slow her. She cannot do something for one turn in the first row, so that's risky, but we need to get the wizard down before he does something. And eat the hits. White slash, huh? Let's get her some aggro for Loren. Okay, she's 46% aggro now. She has 9, that's good. 19, 24. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's toast these guys. Stinging Swarm Proof, so useful. Yeah, White Slash, I get it. Okay, burn them down. He doesn't like you, bitches. Okay, come on. Power attack. Get that guy down. God damn it. Another one. Okay. Miss! And now he slows everyone? Okay, Loren, face off against the Lizard King. You want him in sheer bloodlust, so do it. I'm not happy here. She's totally staggered. Okay. Oh my god. Protect her. Yeah, Ramas. You didn't expect that. Okay, she needs help. Oh, I can do one. Oh, so I can do the easy version too. Defense by 75%, that sounds awesome. And we have the SP, so let's get something going here. None of them has any conditions, so we can't really do any special moves. So let's just take out the archer. My god! My god! They spin a lot. Burn them. Okay. Get some heal going on yourself. Push him back. Okay, he comes in front again and he's... Okay, that was maybe not so smart. Blast him! Okay, so now he's scared. Rightfully so, because now he's dead.
Do you like me, or do you like me? You like me.
No, Draco, we don't. Cloak of the Lizard King. That sounds useful. Oh, we got a point to spend. Okay, so one more strength. 2 more skill. We could get Ice Flask too. Poison Dagger, huh? Backstab. Yeah, now that you are in front of them. Spell points. Increases elemental resistances. Let's go with heal 2, just to have more heal. Okay, it looks solid. Loren will be level 6 soon. The last lizardman fell, bloody and broken from how Loren had mauled him down. She dropped her swords, I have problems with that word, okay, and rushed to her mother, who was still lifeless and bound to the wall. We freed Garen! Mother! Please, Mother! She lifted Karen's head and rocked her to make her sure that she was alive. Her body was warm to her relief. Eleanor handed her a knife to cut the ropes. Please! Just before she shed a tear, Loren saw her mother's blink open. They struggled to focus and then finally looked to see who was holding her. Loren? The princess cried in happiness and hugged her mother close. She managed to free Karen completely from her bonds, revealing dark marks on her wrists from how long she had been held. What? Why are you here? I've come for you. The Amazons wanted to brand you as dead, but I knew you'd be alive. Dead? Karen immediately searched the room, and then her face turned to anguish. Wow, so she looks like an Amazon. Okay. She stood up shakily and fought her body's weakness to scramble over to her corpse nearby. Rhizome! No! She turned the person over to reveal an armored man, dead. Karen did not mute her horrid cries upon seeing him, pressing her head into his cold body. The entire party stood in silence, witnessing the agony of a woman who had just barely escaped with her own life. Loren was perplexed at seeing such a reaction from her mother. Yeah, I see that. I'm really sorry, there are just too many women in that story, and I don't have so many woman voices, so you will have to read or look at the color who is speaking, and that's how it is. Rhizome had been her mother's personal servant, and that was all. Loren suddenly made the connection that the man who had been reported as traveling with her mother had been only her slave. Her thoughts went wild. No one had captured her. Why had she been traveling with him? He was a man. Okay, let's face it. After all, someone captured her. We just found her bound to a wall. Mother? Don't look at me! She snapped at her daughter too quickly, still hunched over Rhizome's body. Loren took a step back in fear. Don't judge me! Loren gasped. Karen had loved Rhizome. It was so clear to Loren now. I guess they usually use men to rip whatever. From the way her mother was clutching him so dearly, she had been in love with him. All those smiles they had secretly shared back in the Citadel. Every time her mother had chastised her for criticizing him and other men. He didn't abduct you. You were running away with him. Her mother could never be allowed to love a man, especially not as queen as the Amazons. She'd be cast out, and so would Loren, simply because she was related to a treacherous weakling. Men were only for procreation, never for love. She had been taught this for as long as she could remember. All this time, Loren had believed that her mother had disappeared against her will, and now it was clear that she had wanted to be abandoned her all along. I'm dead! I should be dead! Eleanor could not stand Loren's sudden standoffish behavior towards her mother, especially for something so meaningless as what gender her lover was. So Eleanor hurried to Queen Karen's side and placed comforting hands on her shoulders. With a gentle pull, she led her away from Rhizome's corpse. It was so clear she wanted to stay with him. The Amazon Queen had always been strong, stoic leader with a reign and exterior as hard as stone. But now she was just a woman, breaking down in her arms. It was enough for Eleanor to question reality itself. Now for a slave I understand that. Now Ray is getting into it. This place stinks of... Wait, that was my dwarf voice. This place stinks of dark magic! They kill that man for their magic? Wah! Witchcraft! Magic should be used for good! Yeah, Draco, we know. You burning people is very good. I will prepare a service for this man. Even though he was killed savagely, he deserves a proper ceremony. Outside, a bright fire burned, sending Rhythm home. Karen stared into the flames, usually silent. On the opposite side, Loren was just silent, but staring at her mother instead. I'm not really sure if in a swamp, in a forest, burning a corpse to bury him is what a druid would do. Okay? But I guess it's writer's freedom, so let's hang with it. She was still having difficulty piecing together everything that she had just seen. She loved her mother deeply, but now she wondered where she even was. Despite her mother's having broken Amazon traditions and requiring exile from the citadel, Loren could not excommunicate her own blood. Not just because it would mean her own exile as well, but because her mother was not a bad person. She was a strong queen, a good mother, and even if her heart beat for someone whom should not have. Eleanor quietly walked up and stood by Loren. She looked over at her servant. The very sight of Eleanor seemed to comfort her, which was a new emotion towards the servant for her. Are you well, Majesty? Loren opened her mouth, but no words came immediately. I'm well, thank you. Eleanor smiled, and Loren's stability wrecked once more. Slaves were supposed to be beneath her, but she was strangely humbled by this one. Loren walked away and urged the party to leave the swamps as soon as possible. Eleanor stood alone, left wondering why her mistress responded in such a way. Of course it was to be expected as her servant, but she couldn't shake the look in her eyes just now. After pulling Karen away from the pyre, the party decided to move on and leave the swamps. Loren took her first step, back towards the citadels, towards home. Yeah, Thief Scout. Okay, that's not what I expected from her. She doesn't look like a Thief Scout. And we maybe have a little many thieves in the party. Maybe I should have taken Warrior for my... So what can Scouts do here? Leg break, that sounds awesome. Causes load condition. And that triggers off staggered. Mark an enemy as focus target. All subscribed by Karen will do 100% more damage. Oh my god. What is that here? He needs to be elemental, I see. 40% of target actual HP, if not a boss. Pretty boss. Ho ho ho. Whirlwind. 3 nearby targets for 110% damage, with 30% chance of causing weakened. Okay. Strikes through. Hits target and any target in the corresponding back row, 50% damage. What a fuck. That's freaking awesome. Okay, you take... okay, you take this. Yes. And Whirlwind, please. Okay. And you're a thief, so your damage is raised by... yeah, okay. Magic value, defense value. Okay, so nothing gets under 10 here, and you get a lot of speed skill. Okay, looks awesome. It would be here, where the story of Loren's Amazon princess should have ended. She had never left the citadel until the day her mother went missing, and she was now returning home with her. Her goal was completed, but her journey was far from over. That sword had not stopped glowing, and did not stop whispering to her while she slept. No, this was just the beginning for Loren and her loyal servant. Soon they would approach the forest again, and news would reach their ears. The whole world was quaking, ready to burst, and the sword knew this. High in the Everburn Mountains, a thundering, unearthly shot rang out over the mountains, shattering windows and putting out fires. Did it glow? Tell me! In that princess' hands, did that sword glow? Oh Faust, you purple bastard. I don't know. I only knew that she has it. I'm completely positive on that, my lord. Then you had better find out if it glows. We have come too far for the gods to meddle in my business. Sir, you know that I need more power for that. My omniscience is limited. I can't just do it whenever. What use are you then? The succubus frowned, about to growl something in her defense. Luckily for her, the chamber's doors flew open and Grob came hopping in, wheezing. You speak of the hawk blade? It glowed! It glows! He threw all his weight into his staff and, as he tried to recapture his breath, Jewel crossed her arms and prepared herself for another of her lord's tantrums. The lava in the room sputtered and flared and Faust swayed her rage. She needs to be killed! I recall someone saying that such an option was covered. How did that go, by the way, Grob? The Goblin shaman snared at Jill. It went according to the plan, actually. But they are collecting more and more allies, so she is well protected. But the lizardmen will be able to handle them, that is. Oh no, haven't you heard? Quite! I will tell him which. I have heard enough bad news for today, Grob. Yes, my lord, but the lizardmen have been slain. Loren has a mother and they are leaving the swamps. Faust's scream shook the room, causing the tiles on the walls and ceilings to break off and shatter on the floor. Jewel and Grob were barely unscared. You can't do anything right, Greenie. And was it that you have done for the lord lady lately? Silence! You will both pay dearly for their mistakes. You failed to keep promises, and you have compromised me for that last time. That guy really believes in the promises of his goblin and his succubus. He's so stupid. My lord, you're being too hasty. I made you a promise that there would be a war. I have come to tell you, the war is upon us. This is quite at Faust, and he sat down. How? Unlike some of us, I have great ability at your service, my lord. The humans and elf were itching for a war as it was. A change in the wind would have sent them to war. Nevertheless, it was my illusion magic, lord. Faust was silent for a long moment, while the demons before him feared for their lives. This is the only good thing that I have heard from the two of you in a long time. That will not be the case again. The two demons bowed before Faust's throne, glared at each other, then laughed. Alone, the animated suit revealed in the thought of the world at war, his plans were finally starting to come to fruition. It was a cloudless night in the Empire. The night watchmen of a small town guarded their post. As usual, only the merchants and lowly travelers entered the village in such a dark hour. So it was beyond suspicious when a group of elven scouts marched right up to this town. Halt! Who goes there? The elven scouts marched through the gate and straight into the main square. The city guards rushed to block the road. The elf suddenly stopped. What is your business here? Go back! We don't need... The guards' commanding tone faded as the elf took out their bows in unison and loaded them. We are under attack! Oh! The arrows flew in all directions and the bloody scream woke the whole town. The elves mercilessly attacked the guards, showing almost no emotion as one person after another was slain. The guards barely had a chance to defend themselves or their loved ones. An arrow pierced an invading elf's skull, sending him to the ground. There, the elf's visage melted away and showed the corpse of a goblin instead. The skull was crushed under the foot of a defending guard. Just outside the forest, Grob wheezed painfully and grasped his staff closely for support. Ah! This should be the last of it. With a wave of his staff, the few goblins who remained in front of him turned into human guards. They looked at their new forms for a moment, then shuttled into a battalion of human soldiers that was forming next to them. Go now! Hurry! The illusory soldiers then marched forward and right into the forest. Rob looked up at the moon and then called. Finally, he teleported himself back to the Everborn Mountains to give his report. His master was waiting for good news. So that's what happened before. Interesting turn of events. Chapter 2. The World at War. So, viewers, I guess we don't really have a lot of the party members that we saw here, because I guess it depends which party members you get on the way you choose. I guess if we go with the humans, we go others, get others and not this ones. So we freed Karen, she's now with us, and we finished chapter 1 of Loren's Amazon Princess. Quite interesting story so far, and I plan on doing chapter 2, but for the sake of the playlist, I will finish this playlist here and start a new second playlist for chapter 2. So there will be a link down in the middle of the screen now to the chapter 2 playlist as soon as it's up. And yeah, have a good time, and I hope I see all of you in chapter 2 of Loren, the Amazon Princess.